Welcome all to the Unit 4 activity for culinary arts. So, first up, we have dry heat cooking. And the first type of dry heat cooking we will be going over today is deep frying. Uh, deep frying, uh, deep frying is when food is submerged into hot fat, traditionally lard, but today most commonly oil, as opposed to the shallow oil used in conventional frying done in a frying pan. Normally, a deep fryer or chip pan is used for this. Industrially, a pressure fryer or vacuum fryer may be used. So, for this type of frying, you're pretty much just, as you see here, you can take the pot or a big square thing, like in movies or TV shows or like in SpongeBob, and you pretty much submerge the food in oil, and then when it's ready, like to your taste, you can just like pull it out, and there you go. That's your deep fried food. For uh, pan frying is a form of frying food characterized by the use of minimal cooking oil or fat, typically using just enough to lubricate the pan. In the case of a greasy food such as bacon, no oil or fats may need to be added. So, so for food that just doesn't have like a lot of oil or grease, you would just put a little bit of like olive oil or something, just a little bit though. So just to like cover this pan right here. So just so you can like moisturize it a little bit with it, and then you would just heat it up and then put whatever chicken you want on it, and that way it can just be there. You can just cook it until it has that golden little crust in there, and that means that the insides are cooked and you can eat it. Now, next up is going to be our moist heat cooking. The first type of moist heat cooking we have is boiling. Boiling is when the food is immersed in water that has been heated to near its boiling point. So as you can see here, you can just grab a pot and you pretty much just fill it with water. You can put salt or anything that you want, and any onions or peppers. So you can add taste to the food, and then you would put whatever you want, like your chicken, and you would just boil it until it's soft and you feel that it's good for it to eat. All right, our next type of moist heat cooking is steaming. Steaming is a method of cooking that requires moist heat. The heat is created by boiling water, which vaporizes into steam. The steam brings heat to the food and cooks it. Unlike boiling, the food is separate from the water and only comes into direct contact with the steam. The steam. So it doesn't really go into water like that. You have this steamer here, and you would put the chicken above it, and then it would just like absorb the steam, the chicken, and then you can put anything you want on it, any like onions or whatever, or peppers or pumpkin, anything to just add some flavor to this, maybe even some cilantro, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's our moist heat cooking for the day. And then the last type of moist cooking that we have is the combination cooking, which is a combination of dry cooking and moist cooking, like moist heat and dry heat. And yeah, so the first type of combination cooking that we have is stowing. Stowing is when you moist heat method. It's a moist heat method, which is similar to simmering in the liquid, is heated until it forms a gentle yet quickly moving bubbles. The difference between stowing and simmering is that stowing generally involves a much smaller amount of liquid that is retained and served with the food as a sauce. So with stowing, you're making a stew. So it's like a whole kind of soup, pretty much. And you're adding all the ingredients that you want. You're adding potatoes, carrots, some cilantro, some peppers, obviously your chicken, because if you don't have chicken in a meal, then it's not really a meal. And then that way you can just have all this stuff right here. And the last type of combination cooking is braising. Braising is the cooking of meat or vegetables by heating them slowly with oil and moisture in a tightly sealed vessel. Braising differs from stewing, in which the food is immersed in liquid, and from covered roasting, in which no liquid is added. Braising is special because with braising you can cook a lot of things, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's kind of like doing a pan fry, but with a little bit more water and at slow heat temperatures. So this is kind of a waste of time, and you should just pan fry things. But never forget to put chicken in your meal so you can have your protein. And thank you for watching. That's gonna